everybody, my name's Kiahonfire and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are looking at the brand new update coming to Conan Exiles very soon. On March 14th is the full release of this update for Chapter 3, so are you excited? I am. But this video is going to tell you all about what is going to be included in this new update, from paid things to free things, and I think it's a really good selection this time. Also, Thursday 23rd is going to be their Test Live update, which is the public beta branch now called, so keep it tuned for that if you actually want to test it out before you play it. Now, one of the first new things they are adding is a new journey system, so you will actually be guided through the exiled lands and Scepter a lot easier now. You'll have step-by-step things to do, and you'll get rewards for doing these things now in the Journey Steps tab. You can also skip certain parts of the journey as well, so if you've already done it, you can just skip right ahead. But this is going to be really nice. It's going to be an opportunity to earn new and awesome prizes, as well as be, guided through the game so much better than before. We absolutely needed a revamp to the system, so it's wonderful to see this, and it looks to be very promising. You can get rewards from new armor to fragments of power to different weapons to all sorts of stuff. And this is not the only list of stuff they're going to have in here. Apparently they have some stuff hidden, so we get to see this fully when we get the game's release. Next thing on the list is a revamp to kamosas Spire. This is really awesome. They've done a whole new revival of the area. There is the Khitan mercenaries. They have moved into the area now and are supporting Kamosa. It's going to be like a trading village as well. There's going to be lots of people you trade with. So this is going to replace kind of like how the caravan event was. So apparently they're taking that out. It might be involved in the future and they might have it as limited time events. But for now, it's been taken out, and if you want to trade your ancient oboli or anything like that, you'll be doing it here. You'll apparently still be able to earn and make ancient oboli, but you'll probably have to come here if you want to use it or make it. And that's one thing about this update I'm going to say. It's probably going to be best if you play Exiled Lands this update, because it does look like this is only going to be on Exiled Lands, this whole market area. You'll still be able to learn the Religion of Set via Kamosa as well. So you'll be all set there as well. Haha, punny. So yeah, you'll have all of that there. But yeah, Scepter, there's no server transfers yet. They have no date on server transfers, which is a real shame because it would have been perfect for this update, and you would have been able to at least travel over from Scepter to come here. But no, I'm going to highly recommend for this chapter update you play Exiled Lands if you want to interact with this kind of free content coming. Either way, you'll be able to do quests for Kamosa and be able to trade off blood crystals and stuff with him. Blood crystals is something we'll go over in a minute, but it's a brand new system, a new resource you can find. You're going to be able to find it by using your actual sorcery resource detect skill, so it's actually going to become useful now, and you should be able to use it to find golems and rock noses that have blood crystals in them and farm them out of those. And if you go to his Spire, you can find a golem teacher who's going to teach you all about golems. Golems are a thing you can actually make now, and they are super awesome. You're going to absolutely love them. They can help you farm stuff. They can be your guardian. They do all sorts. They are incredible and absolutely fascinating for this update. We'll go over them shortly, but you can talk to this guy who will help you with the knowledge of crafting the golems. But you don't only craft the golems, you can find unique parts out in dungeons and in the world, so you'll have to go dungeon diving if you want to find better pieces. That's not the only thing spoiled at the Spire though. There is this new teleport pad, and apparently this is going to unlock a new area, which is going to be super awesome because we haven't had a proper new area in the Exiled Lands for years. People have been wanting one. Future Kaya here gonna pause me because we have some extra teasers on what this new area is, because there's actual photographs and they've done some spoilers, so this is awesome. So you can see here the altar. This is going to be the new place. There seems to be some event with the Eclipse in the background. You can see someone doing spells, And this also looks to be part of the new area as well. So it looks to be a dungeon, a boss dungeon. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have a new dungeon in the Exiled Lands, which is going to be amazing because we've wanted a new dungeon for ages. So this is going to be a new addition. Confirmed, it is a dungeon. Apparently this new area is going to have a tie-in with the new event, which is a new weather event, which is the Eclipse. So you're going to get Eclipse now and again in the Exiled Lands. And I'm guessing this is when you would teleport when the Eclipse is present to this new land, because they have said it has a tie-in with that, the Eclipse being part of the new land. But it won't be complete darkness when the Eclipse comes. It will be just tainted a little bit, so it'll be a bit darker, but not fully dark, so it's quite nice. You got lighter night times here with this. So the Eclipse, another very mysterious event going on that we'll be able to see apparently. Now let's talk about golems, probably the bread and butter of this update, the thing I am looking most forward to. Golems are companions that you can craft and find and put the pieces together to make companions. Now you can't actually heal the golems, but you can craft them and they come with substantial armor and HP upon craft. They don't need leveling up. So you have different tiers of these golems. You have the stone tier at tier 1 that has about 9k HP. Then you have tier 2, which is iron, which has about 14k HP. And then you have the crystalline brimstone 1, which is pretty much tier 3, and it has 20k HP off the bat as soon as you craft it. So you're going to have some really sturdy golems. That, and you can mix and match parts of all tiers together and have different kind of parts on different golems. This includes different farming arms on them. So if you want a woodcutter golem, for example, you're going to need to build it with a woodcutting arm. If you want a stone cutting golem, you're going to need to build a golem with a pickaxe integrated, and so on. Apparently golems can also farm you star metal as long as you've cracked the shell. They can harvest you lots of wonderful stuff as long as you kind of tell them what to harvest. They can also fight for you, but again they have that issue of not being able to be healed. And if they do die, they do not drop their components, which means you need to go and find some more. But it is a very solid thing to have, I'm not gonna lie. And one of the really awesome things about golems is you can get really unique and special parts for them. Like you can give them different heads. So you can give them an explosive jar as a head, and if this golem like terminates and dies, it will explode and drop that jar. So you probably want to equip this to a very low tier of golem, so you could have the explosion go off. So that's going to be really interesting in PvP. You could also have different heads. I did see one in the stream that said about radium head, so I assume you're going to have a walking light source golem. And there was a tar one which apparently drips tar on the floor, and you can set this on fire, so you can make your golem do rings around you and have lovely fire rings and stuff. So that should be really, really cool as well. What was most interesting about this system though, apparently the golems have an incense chest that you can find and make. The incense is going to be made of lotus, so you actually finally have a use for using lotus. And apparently there's 2 tiers to the lotus system, so you can put in lotus flowers and have like a T1 buff, and you can put in lotus powder, which is apparently more powerful, and you'll have a better buff. So what the incense burner does is it can give you 6 or 7 different buffs that you can burn in the golem and have it follow you around. So you can have a lotus buff that gives you damage reflection, or like it gives you better damage. You could also have lotus burning for that, or health regeneration. There's a lot of different buffs you can get, and I think this is a really cool, unique idea here. So you'll finally have a use for lotus, like flowers and stuff like that, and you'll be able to use it in this incense burner to get different buffs for your golem. So So this should be a really nice system that you can use if you desire to do different combat or farming styles out in the wild. It will be really worth picking up an incense burner, you know, kind of golem, and you'll probably want to put it on a very powerful, you know, set. So like, maybe like a T3 golem, you'd probably want to put the incense burner on, maybe, so it doesn't die as easy. Now let's talk about the new armor stands. You can get them for free right now in the battle pass apparently, but in the future they might not be, so it might be worth picking them up very quickly in this update if you can, before they put it in like a paid option. If they do, they're not quite decided on it from what I understood in the stream, but you'll be able to have armor stands kind of like thespians in Pippi, but you'll have it in the base game now. You can't apparently pose these at all, they just stand like they do, but it's nice to have armor stands to put things on, I'm not gonna lie, and they have male and female variants, so this is going to be a nice addition. The battle pass actually looks really promising as well with its new features. So as you can see, you can get the mannequin for free, and there are some armor sets. It does look like, by the way, all the new armor sets from what I could see in the stream are behind a paywall, so bear that in mind. It does look like the new blood weapon set is also that, although I wasn't quite sure on the details if you could craft blood weapons yourself or if you're stuck with having to get them through the battle pass. Either way, they're on the battle pass from what I can see, or at least a skin of them is. We will soon find out very, very soon. They have awesome new storage options you can get from the battle pass, so you can have wood storage, stone storage, tannery storage. They have special new storage containers in the battle pass for these different items, so if you like things looking really nice and you like to be able to see certain storage places, this is going to be a really good one for people who like fancy storage. There's also a camel skin that you can have. It's not a mount, it's not rideable, but it's a new skin, and apparently it's going to be like the caravan stuff, so you'll be able to carry more with this camel. They have a couple new beasts skins, so you can have a couple of skins for your animals that look ferocious and sorcerous. They have new emotes. They have different skins for the golem table apparently, so perhaps you could see this coming in more. They have skins for base game tables, like imagine one for the tannery or something like that. Not in here yet, but there's one for the stone golem table that you can see. They also got a new bedroll, and they actually have one of the storage options, so I think that's the ore storage, as a free thing, so you can enjoy like a free stone storage thingy-majig if you go through the battle pass, which is nice. And they have another new armor in there with the horns that you get from the battle pass, and a really nice bedroll actually, I quite like that. On a different page of the battle pass, they have a new emote with fanning. They of course have their decal things, which I'm not too much of a big fan of, but people might like collecting them. Another weapon skin, and a golem themed wolf skin by the looks of it. And then on their second to final tab, they have another storage option that's for the skins, and they have a new horse skin by the looks of it. On the level 40 page, they have more weapons, more emotes, another armor set by the looks of it as well. It's the golem themed armor set on this page. They also have a free skin for the wolf on here that you can have, and of course more of those spell potions. So you'll get a nice new pet skin. They also have a skin for the golem crafting station, which is kind of nice. It's going to be a nice addition. There is new scaffolding you can put up in your base, and like a notice board as well. And then on the final page, they have another storage option, which they didn't really go over, but it looked like a fiber storage to me, or a cabinet. Then they have another emote and what I was telling you earlier, a stone golem skin, or I don't know what kind of class of golem it is, but it's a golem skin all the same that you get at level 60. Going over to more Bazaar stuff, they have a new Turan like DLC extension set, like we had with the Stormglass one. They have a whole new Turan one, and it actually looks kind of worth getting because they have like things like tents and like tent walls that look like a curtain. So I can see this curtain thing is going to be like really nice for like builders and stuff to have. It's going to be like part of tents, but you could make it look like curtains and all that. Looks really nice of a set though. They have a lot of new options like bigger ceiling parts, better doorways and all of that. That and that tent wall thing I was talking about, you can see you can like make double ones or just complete circles. So you can see you have curvy walls actually as a big bonus there. So curvy walls for tents, very interesting. At one part of the stream, they also spoiled some of the Bazaar items, so they have like a huge Disciples Bazaar set by the looks of it. I imagine this will be a pretty penny. You can see new armor in there, new skins, new emotes. It's got like the whole kitchen sink in one thing. So that might be nice if people don't want to buy skins separately. It's going to be like the original DLCs kind of that set, so that's kind of nice. They also have like a whole emote bundle thingy-majig. And you can see the Terranium building set expansion also in there. You can also see they have another skin on there, the Crystal Mimic. And they seem to have some of the old stuff in there as well. They also have some things that don't have pictures yet, but you can see a lot of new additions to the store if that's what you're interested in. The timers, by the way, are a test thing, but I feel like having the faster timers in the actual game would be maybe a bit of a nicer way to do it if you were doing deals or something. I do feel like for the shop, if they want to make it better, they should have their main inventory like you can always see underneath and buy at any time. But any discounts or promotions, they can have that as their timer thing, you know, up the top or something. That could be the timer thing. But it's quite frustrating at the moment. If you do want to get something from the shop, you have to wait like, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks, a month to be able to see it. And if you miss it, then you're waiting even longer to see it again. So most people just don't buy it. They give up on it, you know. They're not going to sit and wait to buy something, are they? Like maybe a few people will, but a lot of the time people will probably just forget about it, you know, if they did want to buy something and it doesn't pop up in the shop for ages, you know, or they might not even know exists. Like there's this awesome Khitan like bush set I saw in the last thing, and I never saw that come up in the shop. Like I haven't seen it yet, and I was kind of like intrigued in that set, so I haven't got it because I haven't found it yet. So yeah, and I might not bother now, so you know. But yeah, it's just little bits and pieces, hey. But anyway, that gives you an update on what is coming in chapter 3. I think it's a good mix of stuff this time round. It would seem like last time I was a bit miffed. It seemed to be like 90% paid stuff, 10% new. But in this update, it looks like they've evened it out a little bit more, so they've given more free things to do. And then they have, you know, the money stuff on the side. But I do appreciate how there is more things for us to do in this one. And free content in the base game we can use, and not just all of it being paid. So I think this seems to be a good balance, and I can't wait to see how it works in game, and hopefully it sticks to the same thing as I do test it in game. But you can see in future videos there will be more. But anyway, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.